Good morning, Fit Fam. Today we're showing you how we have Betty White, our F450, packed and ready for any disaster, whether it be a wildfire that breaks out, volcano, earthquake, hurricane, or even an AI apocalypse. We're ready.
And because in RV life, you already have to use your truck as additional storage. It's kind of like our garage. And so because of that, I was on board to keep this stuff in the truck because it's stuff that we already have and that we need. And you'll see why it makes sense that this is what we keep in the truck.
So today we're going to show you everything we keep stored in this truck and why we keep it that way. And unfortunately, these awful disasters, these LA fires, are a good reminder that anything can happen in an instant and we should always be prepared. As you can see, one of the biggest things we store in the bed of our truck is excess drinking water. A, it's the easiest place to store it. But B, should we ever find ourselves up in the mountains, lost or stuck in the storm and need to be overnight, we wouldn't have to worry. We would always have plenty of drinking water, which in a survival situation is the number one thing that you need to worry about. And we'll talk about more of that as the episode goes on.
So in the back of the truck, we have 3 airtight waterproof containers. They keep everything in. We have them latched, tied down to the truck, tied down to each other, locked to each other, and locked to the truck to keep everything safe and secure because we're not using this stuff very often, and most of it is for that what if emergency situation.
Okay, so in the very first bin is all of our tent camping gear. As you guys know, we enjoy tent camping. It's something we hope to be doing again in the near future, and we have to store this stuff anyway. So our sleeping bags, the dog sleeping bags, our air mats, our tent, all our rope to hang our tarp, extra rope, the dog tie, the dog run that we use. All these things that we use specifically for tent camping get stored right here. That way, should we ever have a situation where we are out stranded, we could set up camp. Everybody's sleeping bags, including the pups, are rated to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't think we'd have any trouble surviving a couple nights should we find ourselves lost or something like that and need to be sleeping out in the wilderness.
I guess that's one way to make sure that we don't forget the tent when we go camping.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, and this next bin is our tools that we would hopefully not need when we're on the road, but kind of most of this is just in case. We do have our air compressor, which this is one of the things that we do get out and use on a more regular basis. Being that we have 6 tires on the truck, this is something that we always want out with us, even just day to day when driving the truck. We've got our jack.
20 ton.
Our 20 ton.
Yeah, you don't need, it's so heavy, you don't need to do that to yourself.
It weighs 20 ton. Our 20 ton jack is in there. We've got all of our extra sockets in case we ever had to remove our tire. And we have our extra lube plates. Well, these...
we could give those away. Anybody need them?
These are free for a donation. If you saw our previous episode where this caused us a lot of trouble, so we don't need these extras anymore. And again, just in case.
It's our emergency roadside kit, so reflectors.
We've got a little shovel in there.
All right, in this last bin, it's really a miscellaneous hodgepodge bunching of gear, which includes our extra water bladder that actually has to be replaced. We'll be replacing it before we head out for next summer's travel and boondocking because it blew a hole. So this Amazon crap, don't buy it. But extra blanket. The dog sleeping pads didn't fit in with the camping gear, so they made it into this one. What these both are is these are both rollouts. We have 2 of them in there. Should we ever be stuck in sand or somewhere where our tires are slipping, would roll out to give us more grip. I'm not going to do that to myself and have to wind it all back up for in there. But we do have 2 of those in there should we ever get ourselves in a sticky situation. Should we ever be somewhere cold, we keep airtight seal. This is a pack of extra socks. Again, now we're getting into the little bit more of the survival side. You'll also find the undies and the low-cut socks as well. One of our water filters, a fire starting kit, extra boots, our extra platypus water carriers that we have. lights, extra lights that operate on battery, which we do have batteries, hand warmers and ponchos. Alright, so that's everything we keep in the bed of the truck. Now we're going to tell you what we keep in the cab of the truck. And well, guys, this is where you've earned my trust, because we all have a little crazy in us, and I'm about to show you mine. Let's do it.
Alright, now in the back of the truck. So we also keep another case of water in here. This is for backup. We do go through this one and always replenish it, but always make sure that we have an extra case of water in here. And then we have our large hiking packs in here as well. And inside of our packs, I know in mine, this is where we've got some first aid stuff, but also our other source of water filter, our water filter straws. You know, if we ever had to drink out of like a lake or a creek or something like that, we would be prepared. And then our stove, if we needed to boil hot water to be able to make some food. We have our stove and extra fuel for that as well. Hopefully we're not out there too long. Oh, and some toilet paper, you know, the essentials. That's just always in my hiking pack. So some of this stuff, again, like our hiking pack is ready. If I was getting ready to do like a long hike and want to take a camp meal, like my hike pack's ready. It's also ready in the truck for an emergency. So it's kind of a 2-for-1, keeping things ready to roll. Sydnee's hiking pack, hats, gloves, you know, pee-wees. We're ready to go. This isn't really emergency. This is my hammock, and I keep this in the truck because one day I'm going to be in that perfect spot with 2 great trees and wish I had my hammock. So that's why I keep this in the truck. I haven't got to use it yet. All right, now we're ready for all the weather. We've got our snow scraper, ice scraper. This is ready to go. And our umbrella. All right, for a rainy day. So again, we're ready for all the weather. And then in the back of the seat, should we ever be in a position where we had to pull off on the side of the roads, do any type of repairs, or one of us had to kind of stop traffic to back the other one in, we are prepared. With our sexy jackets. So, if I have to back her in, maybe we should just wear this on back end day.
Says this person who stays in the truck.
Oh yeah, that's right. I wouldn't be the one to get to wear it. Got nice pockets and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if we're ever out stranded and need help. Or just being safe. So that's what's on this side of the truck.
All right, tell us about this food you hinted at.
All right.
We've got 2 full, airtight, watertight containers full of what?
Full dusty in there.
This is the dog seat cover that we've peeled back for you.
All right, so in here we have our dehydrated meals, and we have a good 2 weeks worth of dehydrated meals. So all you need to do is boil water, and you got some great food like beef stroganoff, fried rice,
biscuits and gravy. My favorite is just like the rice and mushroom one.
I see some broccoli and rice and chicken. So, you know, we're not going to be going hungry out there. So those are in an airtight container, and those last for many, many years. And as you see, sometimes we like to bust those out on a hiking trip or on a tailgate for a little picnic. So we do get into those, and then we replenish them. You know, our favorite being, what's your favorite? Peach cobbler. Yeah. That one's a treat. Maybe we'll have one around the fire tonight.
No, we have so much fresh food.
Oh, yeah. They look good. They always look so good, though. So we got 2 bins of those, so we're ready to go. And the great thing about the dehydrated meals is, because we're all concerned with this, right? Weight. So versus having lots of canned goods, you know, which in our sticks and bricks we would stock up on canned goods, you know, these are lighter, you can pack more condensed.
All right, and then we bring you over to this side because you never know when we might pull off the road and jump in a river or whatever. We do keep a set of towels, do we keep 4 of them in here or 8 of them in here? 4 of them in here because the pups definitely require their own towels. So we keep extra towels in there. And again, that's great in an emergency, but honestly, we don't keep them in there because of emergencies. We just use them. Pardon this, it's very humid here. We're protecting the truck with some damp rid from moisture. So the second container of food is mainly what's under here, but I promise you, if anything really did ever happen in a serious, like, I hate to say it, war situation, all of our technology is dead, done. It's not gonna work at all. So we keep a road atlas. This one is Canada, the United States, and Mexico. And we use this for a lot of fun. It's the National Parks Edition. We plan a lot of trips using this. We get a lot of joy from this. But we do keep it in the truck because, like I said, if we were ever lost with no signal or there was ever a real emergency situation, tech would be dark, and so we need to make sure we can navigate to where we're going. Our pop-up cones, again, like Mandy said, if we did ever have to change the tire on the side of a busy highway, we want to be as visible and as safe as possible, so we've got some pop-up cones that we would put up just to again, make us incredibly more visible. All right, and now, the crazy side of me that I promised to share is all the stuff we keep under here. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing, and the first thing probably a lot of people are noticing, are full face gas masks. Wildfires are a very real threat in our world today, especially as the climate changes. Like I said, you see what's going on in LA. Our hearts go out to all the families of people who lost everything they own, and especially the families who lost loved ones. The thing that is most likely to harm you in any fire situation is the smoke. So we have full face gas masks as well as N95 masks for, well, we all know what masks are for these days. We have these, we bought these for a Halloween costume. We want to stick people when here is Halloween, and these are actually a really great thing to have in a blackout in an emergency where there's no power. They provide light, so we just keep them in the truck. Hats and gloves should we be cold. Lots and lots of extra shoeies, again, only really for those bathroom emergencies, not necessarily those natural disaster emergencies. Sewing kit, rubber gloves, lots and lots of poop bags. And now here's where we really get into the first aid. So we've got bandages, Vectine, Ace bandages, more Band-Aid packs. And then this is gonna be your Advil, your Tylenol, your gauzes, your allergy medicine, your Pepto, your Tums, all of, again, just more first aid. We don't buy, first aid kits are so expensive. I promise you, you'd be better off just kind of raiding your own first aid closet and restocking or buying the things that you know you use and need on the regular to do that. Back here, we also keep our hiking poles. Again, they're ready to go for hiking. We don't use them very often. That's why we have them shoved under here. And our big giant breaker bar, as well as all the stuff that came directly from Ford to be able to change the tire directly on the Ford. And that's, oh, and one last thing. A real shovel, should we ever have to dig ourselves out of a sticky situation, literally, we have a real shovel that we could use to be able to do that.
You feel prepared?
I do. Do you feel prepared? I was just kind of like, I haven't seen it in a while. We've got baby wipes. What else we got over there? But in all seriousness, like Mandy said, we have to use the truck as storage anyway. Knowing our lifestyle, knowing sometimes we put ourselves in the middle of nowhere and all the situations and everything that's going on in the world, why wouldn't we have the truck ready to go for anything that we might need, since it's going to be full of crap anyway?
Hopefully we don't need this stuff in a natural disaster and an emergency, but even just getting stranded out on a long hike, or breaking down, or a road trip taking us longer, we have everything right here in our truck that we would need in those situations. So even if it's just, a little minor medical emergency, or a pee emergency, or needing a meal, we got that covered too.
A hanger emergency, those happen in our house. And also, these I bought with my REI credit one year because I really wanted to read them and learn the information. Like you guys know, I'm super nerdy, but I keep them in the car because I have them, which is my pocket guide to outdoor survival, my pocket guide to animal tracks, and my pocket guide to forecasting weather. Again, these were things that I bought because I wanted the information and thought it was fun. And so yeah, I got the waterproof edition and keep them stored right here in the truck. Just to have, you know, all again, just sort of that peace of mind that I guess some of us need more than others. And let's be real, the real hope is not that we would ever have to get in the truck and leave the RV behind. The real hope is that if there was ever an emergency, like for a hurricane, for example, you have plenty of notice, we would be able to hook up and take the entire RV with us. We obviously have a list of important things that we would grab from the RV that do not get stored in the truck, that would either get put in the safe up here or just in the back seat here, that we would take with us. But knowing that, you know, should a wildfire sweep the area, our grab and go bag is ready to go.
And in the front, again, these are essentials for every day. Bear spray. Never know when you're gonna need this. We carry this on all of our hikes, so having our bear spray, sunscreen, bug spray. You definitely need this in Texas. And then rubber gloves for pumping that diesel. So we're stocked up and ready to go.
And so this is how the back seat of our truck looks everyday life. The dogs are able to stand on all those containers in that water. It's no big deal. It just makes it more stable and solid service for them in the end. And nobody's ever going with us anywhere anyway. Wait, so tell the people, what's the very first thing we would do in the case of an emergency?
Scoop up these baby girls. Put them in the truck, leash them, put them in the truck, and then grab everything that's on our list. Get as much food in the cooler as we can. Grab our coat, extra panties, and hit the road.
Yeah, the first thing we would do is leash up the pups, start the truck, and then grab those essential items, that list that we have ready to go. It's got the basics on it, all the things that you would expect to have on it, and skedaddle, a grab and go situation. Yeah, you'd come too, don't worry.
They're afraid. They're like, don't leave me. You're getting in the truck without me.
That is what's happening.
In the truck without me.
Sydnee from the future here, and I wanted to go over that list, but real quick, while I have you alone, I also wanted to let you know about two other things that I keep in the truck. Inside where that stored container inside where all of our freeze-dried food was, I also keep a packet of seeds of 30 different fruits and vegetable varieties that I know I could grow because I could grow anything, and a copy of the Constitution. This is actually the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of the Confederation, the Bill of Rights, and all of the amendments as well. And look, I don't think the odds of an AI apocalypse, I know I joked about that earlier, or a war are very high in this country, but I also don't think that the odds of those things are zero. And so I'd rather be safe than sorry. And no matter where you live, what you're planning for, if you live out west where there's fire season, if you live down south where there's hurricane season, whatever it may be, if you live in an area where there might be a reason you would have to evacuate for anything, make sure you sit down with your family or whoever you live with and talk about what you would do, because most of the time what causes us to panic is not having that plan. And so I mentioned that list of things that's on it. Think of like important documents, your ID, your wallet, if you have any cash, if you keep any firearms in the home, like all of those important documents and important things that really you would need to be able to rebuild life and live life again. But we actually keep a list of things that we would grab in an emergency situation, just taped up in one of the cupboards. And I would encourage you guys to at least talk about a plan in the world that we live in today. And also, while you're still here, go ahead and hit that likes button. Feel free to share it with some friends. It really helps the channel grow, and we appreciate you so much. Shh, don't tell Mandy about the seeds. So now that you've seen all the steps and the things that we've done to prepare for any sort of emergency situation, are there things that we're missing, or what are you guys doing? Are you guys doing anything similar or different to prepare as well?
So comment below if there's anything that you have in your truck or survival or emergency kit that maybe we didn't think of and that we're missing. And again, we're so sorry that we missed seeing you guys last week. We had a little hiccup with our technology when we were filming. We did a little DIY project. And we found after months and months, or really the whole first year of not sleeping well in our RV, that it was due to the lack of support under the mattress. So we hit the Home Depot and we built reinforcement, and we'll find a way to share more detail with that.
Yeah, so before you replace your RV mattress, which we have done and we were still having troubles, spend the 18 bucks and maybe do what we did and grab a couple 2x4s and build it up below. But either way, we appreciate you guys so much. You are the best. If you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. If you like what you saw here today, also like and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow and it means a lot to us. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week.